What's up, you guys? Sophie here again. Today I just wanted to hop on here. I'm just getting done with my story, waiting for approval from my producers. And today's story is a Zoom interview story. And I was thinking about when the last time it was that I did a Zoom interview. Now, it wasn't that long ago, but I've been doing a lot of in-person shoots, which I haven't really been doing since the pandemic began. So it's been a little strange switching back over to going in person. I do the Health Beat report, so I report on all health topics.
That's why Health Beat is on the front lines of the COVID-19 fight,
helping protect you and your families with stories focused on the current health crisis.
So that requires me to go visit our local hospitals quite a bit, and because of the pandemic and visitor restrictions and wanting to keep people safe, we have not really been going into hospitals, but this week I did get the opportunity to go inside of one. I've also got to do a few other stories, and pretty much for all of the stories that I've done in person, I have been suiting up in some pretty crazy gear. I've got to wear PPE, I've got to wear some safety goggles that were not even because of COVID. It was actually for a fireworks story, a fireworks safety story.
Experts say when it comes to fireworks safety and protecting your eyes, one of the first steps is picking up a pair of glasses like these.
But it's been interesting going in and doing these in-person stories again, which we just have not been doing to keep everybody safe. I seriously applaud these guys for what they have to wear and how they have to do their procedures with even more PPE than maybe they're used to. One of the stories I was actually doing, I went into an OR, an operating room in a hospital, and we were completely head to toe suited up in our bunny suits, as they call them, and it was very interesting just to see and to feel how it is.
The blue light in this room is the same concept as the Xenex technology, which is continuously cleaning as patients and doctors are in the room.
The overhead lighting has two modes, a lower mode with a whitish light setting that you're used to seeing.
We're actually talking about they have overlight technology that completely cleans the room just nonstop. So when these UV lights are on, it's just cleaning the room over and over and over, making sure no bacteria or anything is in there when they're operating. And then another one of the stories that I was doing was a oral surgeon office. Their PPE is also insane that they're wearing, and they were actually telling me that when you're doing oral surgery work or any sort of dental work, some aerosols can be created that can come into the air that is bacteria, and so to minimize that, they installed a room, it's called a negative pressure room, and it sucks the air out and just throws it right outside, so all the bad bacteria doesn't contaminate the rest of their office. So that was very interesting.
In addition to the new technology at Suland Oral, doctors are also suiting up in an outfit just like this before every procedure.
It's warm and even a little stuffy under all of that PPE.
I was really grateful that they gave me the opportunity to try everything on and see, okay, this is how it feels when you're working during a pandemic, working under these conditions. I can't imagine. You know, I do wear a mask, but when you are wearing a mask and a face shield and a new clean suit for every patient, it is definitely a lot, and I just can't thank these guys enough for everything that they're doing. But I did want to hop on here because I thought it would be fun to talk a little bit about stand-ups, because in my stories that I've been doing over Zoom, I haven't really been doing a whole lot of stand-ups because I'm not out on the scene, I'm not in the field doing my reports. And so for a lot of my stories that I've been doing, it just doesn't make sense for me to be doing a health story and standing in my kitchen trying to do something or trying to find a bare wall that relates to the story, when really it just makes sense to actually be on the scene.
If you already have a mask for yourself but you're looking to make more, Bixler says you can donate masks that meet the requirement to Sanford Health.
So I haven't been doing a ton of stand-ups during the pandemic, but since I was out in the field, I got the opportunity to do some stand-ups again, and I thought I would tell you guys just a little bit about how they work, what they are, why they need to be there. So when I was in college, we learned about stand-ups. I knew what they were before I got my job, but I just didn't do a whole lot of them. I definitely wish I would have done more, which is why I want to tell you guys that if you have the chance, definitely work on stand-ups if you're wanting to go into a TV news career. And so what a stand-up is, or how I explain it to the people that I'll be doing a story with, it's my one-liner, but it really doesn't have to be just one line. It can be as long as you need it to be. Obviously, it's not going to be the whole duration of the story, but really all it is just a little pop-in of yourself standing there telling something about your story, giving some facts, something that, you know, gives information to your viewers.
Experts say that the stereotype that the sport is only for snowbirds or older people just isn't true. And after testing it out myself, I'd have to agree.
After a quick rundown on how the game is played, Plugger showed me just how beginner-friendly it really is, and age-friendly too.
And also it gives the viewers a visualization of, okay, who's telling me this story? Who is the reporter? They can actually see me, I'm in the story telling them some facts, and they're just a really good piece to kind of put a face to the reporter, put a face to the voice telling the story, and for a lot of people, you can get pretty creative with them. If you're doing a story that has a lot of props, which a lot of stories do have a lot of props, then you can kind of have some fun with it, show something, hold something, you know, motion to something behind you. But because I actually do just health stories, a lot of the time I am in a hospital setting. I'm in a clinic room. I'm in an exam room where the only prop that I have would be like the patient bed, and I don't really know how I could turn that into something different for every single story.
Now Ben's following a heart-healthy diet and getting regular exercise. And just months after his surgery, Ben says he's feeling amazing.
But it really is just about getting creative, which is something that I am constantly working on. When I brought up college and how I wish I would have done more, something that I think people can do who maybe they don't have a student-run news team, or they just don't have the opportunity to do stand-ups in their current major at school. Or even maybe you're in your TV job and you're wondering, how can I improve? Well, while I'm still improving myself and constantly working to improve, I do have some tips that I can pass along to whoever wants to hear them. So one thing that I would definitely recommend is to throw your phone up. We've all got a phone. It doesn't have to be any special phone, but throw your phone up and hit record. Stand in front of it. You don't need a news story to practice. Make one up, but just stand in front of your camera and start practicing. Do your one-liners and even just look some up on YouTube. Type in reporter reel or anchor reel, and you'll quickly see a lot of people stand up and kind of get an idea of what's expected of you and really just improve on being in front of a camera. While you can do it in front of your mirror and stare back at yourself, I just think there's something about putting a camera in front of you and having to talk into it. It's a weird feeling. If you've ever been there, you know. If you do YouTube, you know. It is just an odd feeling talking into a camera. You're not actually talking to another face, and it's just kind of weird, and you really do have to get used to it. And the reason to record yourself is something I constantly ran into and still run into to this day. What do you do with your hands? Do you leave them down by your side? Do you motion to something? I mean, the more you practice, the more you will understand, okay, here's what I can do with my hands, or I like the way that I did this, or this is what I want to do. Whatever it is, you will learn what you like and you will learn what you don't like. So recording yourself is definitely not a bad idea. But for today's story, I am actually talking about the importance of mammograms and how the pandemic has impacted mammograms and the rise in numbers since restrictions were eased. And so I do need to get all finished up on that. And truthfully, something I don't want to do or want to even think about is the mess of my house right now. Okay, it's a disaster, it's a mess, there is stuff literally everywhere, there's laundry on my bedroom floor. It's like one of those things where you just look at it and you kind of just look away. But I do have an excuse. I've been so flippin' busy this week, and part of it stems from my car. I had a airbag recall, so I had to take my car in. The car place that I go to is all the way across town, and so I had to bring my car there a couple days ago. Then yesterday I had to go back and drop the loaner car off and pick my car up. And then of course it's my sister's birthday today, and I had to go pick up some presents for her. So I've been a little busy, so I'll give myself a little grace with the mess, but it's out of control and I need to take care of that. But I thought it would be fun to tell you guys a little bit about what a stand-up is, or if you're ever watching the news and you're wondering why is that reporter just randomly standing there in the middle of the story. Now, you know, we are hoping to provide something useful for viewers. It's not just for fun or just because we want to be on camera more often. It's meant to provide facts for the story. It's meant to bring something to the story, so it's not there for no reason. And I've also had a few comments of people saying, you know, what was your career path, or what do you recommend me do? So here's just one thing that you can do if you want to start working towards a goal of working in TV news. It's a simple thing to put your camera up and talk into it, but once you start talking into it, you know, there are some people who are just naturals and they can just do it, but it's not like that for everybody, and some people need practice. I'm one of them. It did not come extremely naturally to me. I remember my first stand-up so well because I was so nervous. I had no idea what to say. I could not think on my toes. Now typically it's a little bit easier. You kind of know how they work, you've got it down, but it's something that I don't think I will ever stop hoping to improve on, making them more active, which means grabbing a prop or walking. And there's just a lot of ways that you can hopefully improve on it. This is just one small thing you can do, a small step you can take towards your career in TV news if that's what you're hoping to do, or any career being in front of the camera, recording yourself before you start actually doing it. It seems like common sense, right? But I just didn't do it other than when I was in school. So I hope this is helpful for you guys who are looking for a little bit of advice before you jump into your career. Oh, you guys, I don't even want you to see what's behind me right now because I think you can see, yeah. I brought you out here so you can just understand the kind of mess I'm talking about or the kind of week that I've had. Now let me just show you this. See this? Okay. See what's happening there? So what I am showing you right now, that is the week that I've had. I ordered groceries trying to avoid the grocery stores, and when they got here, that actually dropped out of the bag. My coffee, the thing that I need the most in the morning, dropped out of the bag. I had no idea that it cracked. I just thought it dropped, that's fine. Had no idea it cracked. I put it in my fridge, which I also didn't notice that it had a bunch of dirt from dropping on the ground. So there's dirt all over my fridge, and as I poured myself a cup of coffee the other morning to take with me to work, it kind of tasted a little funny and it felt like it had kind of an off smell, but I just thought, okay, it's, you know, whatever, I'm tired, it's really early, I don't know what I thought. But then I came home and I went to pour myself just a little bit more, and then I noticed it was cracked on the top and open. So yeah, that's how my week's been, but that's okay because ta-da! I got more coffee. I will survive. I'll try to survive. And now I am looking at the mess that is my kitchen. If I just put my hand there. You can't see it, there's no mess. If I just move my head here. No mess, right? Yeah, I wish it was that easy, but I need to clean up this mess, and now I'm looking over here and these are catching my eye, and I am guilty for buying those. 4th of July, gotta celebrate, right? But okay guys, now I am gonna get back to work and finish up. I am going to hopefully get the rest of my work done so I can get ready. It is 10:37. I need to start getting ready to go to the zoo for my sister's birthday. I need to get this place cleaned up, even if that means I have to throw some things in the closet, but that's okay. I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna make it look good so I feel better walking through this place, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye guys.